Good morning. Today I've actually I'm going to start with a question. I'm going to take out a previous question paper. For that question, I'm going to teach you how to write the answer for the question. So that is how I'm going to start today. Uh, yeah. This is the question we are going to see. Yash is planning to launch his new tech startup. He is exploring different locations across the country to establish his company in the right business environment. One option is the city of Bengaluru, the Silicon Valley of India, with an engaging network of entrepreneurs, investors, advisors, and mentors, coupled with various subsidies for new ventures and tax benefits. Bengaluru might be an ideal choice for Yash to establish his company and increase his chances of success. Define the term business environment with respect to the above scenario. Explain the different ways in which the interaction of a business with this environment can be helpful in developing a successful strategy. So here we have to discuss whenever it's a case study, we have to start with, or whenever you start your answer, it should be aligned with this question. So let us see here. So here we are going to look into this. The term business environment refers to all external factors. Just tell what is business environment first. External factors, the influences or situations that in some way affect business decisions, plans, and operations. Organizational success is determined by its business environment and even more from its relationship with it. If you see the effect of continuous interaction between a business and its environment, you have to tell what is the effect, because it's asked for the effect of doing it. So determine opportunities and threats. What are the opportunities that are available in the environment? What are the threats that are going to pose for your organization? Right, from competitors to vendors, whatever it is. Then you have a direction for growth. How can I expand my business? The continuous learning, because the environment is always changing, and you have image building. How to build the image? Image building is basically branding your company. We always know what are Tata and Sons, what is Reliance, that is image building. Nowadays, even CEOs are putting themselves as a brand image there. Then you have meeting the competition. See, meeting the competition will only tell you what are the threats they are going to pose for you. This is how it goes. So when you see that, we will be doing so we will be talking about micro and macro environment. If you look at the question, you will realize he had talked about investors, mentors, and all that. That comes under micro environment. Macro environment, he has looked at more like tax subsidies and other things, which is more like the political legal environment. So you would have to actually tackle the question. Talking about the political legal environment and the economic environment. So we will be taking this into consideration. See, this is your micro environment and your macro environment. See, you have your customers, the public, that is the public, general public who have an opinion about your company, the competitors, the company itself, your vendors, the suppliers of raw materials or warehouses or whatever it be. Then the intermediaries, your business intermediaries or agents. This is the micro environment. In fact, in that question, there were two sentences. Those are your key words where you're going to talk. It tells you have to deal with both micro and the macro. In this question, in fact, they were looking more at political legal environment, because he was talking about more of tax subsidies and the legal framework. So you will be talking more about the political legal part of it. And the natural, that is whether Bengaluru is very conducive to the running of his business. And the demographic, whether he will get the correct kind of vendors and others and all that. So that the demographic also comes. And the technological. In fact, Your question was dealing more with the political, legal, and the technological, with a touch of demographic and natural. See, in micro environment, these are the people. So related to a very small area, immediate peripheries, who are in my closest circle, who will affect. So we have actually the competitors, the consumers, then you have the owners, then you have the suppliers, the intermediaries, the agents. All these people will be the ones who are affecting you immediately. Influences an organization regularly and directly, specific to the said business or firm. See, it affects is working on a direct or regular basis. So every day I'm going to fight with them. Every day I'm going to interact with them. So the key players will be your suppliers. The supplier, it can be just don't think of raw materials alone here. You would have to think about the people who are going to give you maybe money, your financiers, maybe the people who are going to get you the best warehouses. So it can be anything. So here suppliers will be more like the suppliers will be more like the consumer. See, even your consumers, your marketing intermediaries, competitors, etc. So these are the people who are going to be doing it. See, microenvironment issues are who are the firm suppliers, how are the links between the two being developed, the local community, where am I working? See, Bengaluru, whether it is conducive, the people there are conducive, direct competition, and who are your direct competitors, who are creating products exactly like yours, and their comparative performance. So ways in which the firm can raise, it's like I told you, the financials, the existing customer base, and can you take customers from your competitors? So all this, and employees of the firm, their characteristics, how they are organized, then you can make them change. These are your microenvironment issues. So see, when you see the macro environment, microenvironment is the immediate influences. Macro environment is the outside influences. See, the portion of the outside world over which you have absolutely no control. The best example is the PESTLE analysis. Political, it's an acronym. P stands for political, E economic, then you have social, S, T for technological, L for legal, E for the factors, so environmental factors. So there are so many things that are going to affect you. You see this, it's beyond your influence or control. See, you cannot control which political party will come to power. It depends on so many people who are voting for a particular party. So it's very difficult to determine all that. So now you will, in your macro, see, in micro, you will have to touch upon it, and you have to talk about the entrepreneurs, the mentors, and the suppliers, etc. because it's already that is your micro environment. Now we will go to macro environment. So, but when you are answering this question, you have to say, yes, micro environment involves the entrepreneurs, the mentors, and the suppliers. Macro environment in this case, he was looking at tax subsidies. So because of that, you are going to talk about more of the political legal environment, whether it's very conducive because he needs the tax subsidies. So here, although there are many factors, the most important of the factors are socio-economic, technological, supplier, competitors, and the government. See, government is the one who is going to give you the subsidies. Then you have the socio-economic factors, whether Bengaluru is very conducive for them to run this business. So, see, the types of microenvironment is this generally. You have to mention them. But since it's Yash company, you're going to touch upon, if you see this question, you can see this, that one option is the city of Bengaluru, the Silicon Valley of India, with an engaging network of entrepreneurs, investors, advisors, and mentors. Investors here in this case will be your financiers, people who are ready to give money. You have your advisors. So whether that comes under the micro environment. See, coupled with various subsidies for new ventures and tax benefits. So here we are talking about the government and the political legal environment which is conducive to run. So micro and macro we have. So here the political, so demographic environment, socio-cultural environment, economic environment, political legal environment, technological environment. See again, if you see this question, yes, whether it's an ideal choice or not, whether it increases chance of success. So here the option is given, and now whether you would have to talk about major, you have to talk about political legal environment, and usually for Yash, the political legal environment will be more things. So whether it is see, when we talk about demographic environment, this is what we are going to look at: the characteristics of the population, age, gender, what kind of skilled workers, unskilled workers, what is the, see the understanding where how Bengaluru, whether it will give the type of employees Yash company will want. So when you talk about Yash, you say Yash should consider the demographic environment, whether Bengaluru can offer him the kind of employees he wants to work for him. So that is where you're going to mention demographic environment. Please always approach this question from the angle of Yash and company. Okay. So here you can leave this out. So demographic issues is, what are the demographic trends that will affect the market size of the industry? But the Bengaluru also has enough consumers. That also is important, right? So what demographic trends represent opportunities or threats? These are the demographic issues for you. Then this is the population, the size, age, distribution. Don't go too deep into this part. You go with that slide I talked to you about and just mention just 2 or 3 in this. Maybe you can talk about the size, the ethnic mix, income distribution. These 3 are the most important because it determines what kind of a market you have. Then socio-cultural environment. Here the traditions, the beliefs, the ethical standards, literacy level, what kind of a society is it, the social stratification, the conflicts and cohesiveness, etc. So this is different from demographics because here we are talking about the behavioral and the belief system of the population, not the composition of the population. We are talking about the what they think, what they believe in, how are they. See, example, in Karnataka long back, they broke the KFC when it started. They just broke the establishment. Because they didn't want KFC to be started in Karnataka. See, that is the kind of social cultural environment we are talking about. What kind of conflicts, whether they are all really bonded together, that is your social cultural environment. Whether they will welcome Yash and company into their mix. See, it depends whether he, say Bengaluru is open to someone else coming and opening a company in their midst. That is their thing, whether they are welcoming him or not. So these are related to human. So don't go deep into this one also. You just touch upon this. You can take the second point. The impact of social attitudes and cultural values, which has a bearing on the operations of the organization. That is all you have to, that is your social cultural environment and overview. See, when you set your mission, objective setting, you have to touch upon this social cultural environment. See, now we come to economic environment. What is an economic environment? This talks not only of the regional level, national level, it's also on the global level also. Inflation, recession, the unemployment level. So everything it touches upon, that is your economic environment. Whether it's very conducive to run a business. See, a lot of factors. See, here you don't have to go too deep into all this. Please approach it like I told you from Yash and company. You have to talk about this part, very important here. The current income, purchasing power in an economy. Just touch upon this, okay? The purchasing power of the economy, the economic prospect. Here, Yash and company needs economic prospect of growth, right? Whether it can grow in Bengaluru and expand in Bengaluru, that economic prospect. The supply of inputs and outputs of the business, their cost, whether he can regularly get the supply, the condition of the market and the resources, and determine the strength and size of the market, whether he can sell there. So these are the economic environment factors. So please again approach the question from Yash and Company's viewpoint, where you're going to talk about the whether Bengaluru has the purchasing power in the economy, where the economic prospects for Yash and Company to grow, the continuous supply of resources to Yash and Company, the size of the market share, the income distribution pattern. These are the economic factors. You can just have a look at this. Right from per capita income, GDP, inflation, unemployment, the strength of the capital market. When I talk about the strength of the capital market, whether you are talking about investors, right? So whether the banks are willing to give a loan, the growth of the foreign trade, whether he'll be able to export it anywhere, all this will come under economic factors. This is where you have to concentrate on. Those you can touch upon, but when you are looking at tax subsidies and other benefits, we are actually looking at a political legal environment. Here we are talking about whether the degree to which a business will be politicized. Now, politics and business go hand in hand. So here we are talking about the business and the economic issues have been politicized. The degree of political morality, law and order, suddenly there shouldn't be one conflict and an eruption, hartal, then immediately your business is disrupted. He has to send an important consignment abroad. If there is a hartal, what will happen? So the state of law and order, political stability, then the government shouldn't be toppled overnight. So your business should have a stable political legal environment. See, then only the tax subsidies that are given also will be there with you for a longer period of time. See, this part you have to concentrate on, because the question itself talks about coupled with various subsidies for new ventures and tax benefits. This comes from the political legal environment only. So effectiveness or purposefulness of governmental agencies, the scope and type of governmental intervention in the economy and industry, etc. Totally, we are talking about the political conduciveness of how well you can run a business, and at the same time the political stability that helps a business to grow. That is all we are talking about. See, business and thing will go hand in hand. That is why, see this last line here. In this slide, taxes and duties may be levied and affect the business. He was talking about tax subsidies. Remember, Yash and Co. That is why I told you, when you can write about the demographic environment, economic environment, socio-cultural environment, but you have to concentrate on the political legal environment when you are explaining your answer. And please approach it from because Yash and Company are looking for a lot of tax benefits and subsidies. So whether Bengaluru has a political and legal framework to support the business, the political stability also, which may affect his business. So you have to talk about that. See, when you see, they prefer to operate with a sound legal system. With that, you can stop with this. So now we come to technological environment, because his is a technology company. If you see it, he is working in, it's a new tech startup. That is why these 2 points have to be taken care of. One is the political legal environment. The second one is technology. Technological environment has changed. The way people communicate, do things, a lot of things have changed. When you look at this is technology and business. Say technology and business are interlinked, interdependent, and especially you have to write like this. Yash and Company being a new tech startup company, the degree to which the technology and business goes in hand is really high, and business always leverages technology. So the use of technology reduces paperwork, schedules payments more efficiently, and he needs a very good technological know-how, and he also needs people who have the know-how to come and work for him. So that is where the socio-cultural environment also works, where the people are okay with things, their belief system. See, when you capture the technology, it is a competitive advantage for the company. So here, when you take Yash and Company, there are 2 things that will come up. The micro environment, which is talking about the entrepreneurs and the investors, etc. And then you on the macro environment, you have to concentrate on two things. The political, legal environment main. The second is being a new tech startup, you have to look at the technology in business. And definitely you have to also look at the demographic environment, because the number of skilled workers you will be able to get for your new tech startup. That the kind of employee, see, you cannot always import workers. For that you have to even try to get locally whether that kind of an information is there. So this is what you're going to look at. See, leads to many new business opportunities. It's very good for adopts technological innovations as an opportunity for the business. See, being a tech startup, technology is the core of his business. So artificial intelligence, machine learning, robotic process automation. So in your question, you would have to look at this. So pestle analysis is the main thing here. But in your question, you are going to take care of this. When you start the answer, you have to start like this. Yash and company will be looking at a business environment. You have to first write what is business environment, what it is. They are the external forces which affect the functioning of a business. Then you have to write about the micro environment, which involves the immediate periphery of the organization, like the consumers, the competitors, the intermediaries, the market where it is functioning, that is Bengaluru. And these are the things that function in the micro environment. And Yash, being a startup company, he has to concentrate on two things mainly. Or three things also you can take, that is a political legal environment, because he's looking for a lot of tax subsidies and tax benefits, a lot of subsidies, and he's looking for tax benefits also. So he needs to see whether Bengaluru has the political stability and the conduciveness to help his business. And you also take into consideration the technology, because it's a tech startup and he has to take care of that. And he also has to look at the demographic pattern. Why the demographic pattern? See whether he gets enough workers, skilled workers for his organization. So when you approach this question, please approach it from the angle of Yash and company. Thank you very much. With this thing ends, and so I'll come up with another question. We will start with the question. I'll be answering the question.